Buenas tardes y bienvenidos a todo. Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shear and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to join us for the live Zoom meeting, please contact me for the link and the password. Today is Sunday, October 9th, 2022. Happy Thanksgiving Day weekend to all my Canadian friends and anyone else that likes to celebrate it as well. We are continuing with our annual theme, which is Living Everyday Wonder. And the topic for this month of October is finances. The topic for this week is Let It Flow. So each week, we start with a spiritual practice called affirmative prayer, also known as spiritual mind treatment. This is a powerful tool and a practical tool that shifts our consciousness so that we are open and available to accept the good that is already present in our life. It aligns our thoughts with all good. So let's move into today's service with intention, as we do each week, with a reading from the Creative Thought magazine. And today I'll be reading from October 11th, 2014. And just a reminder that spiritual mind treatment is always done in the first person. So I invite you to close your eyes and take these words as your own, if you so choose. Today, I recognize that loving spirit is within me and exists at the center of my being. Spirit is all there truly is, and is that invisible source that creates my world of effect. Spirit is the resource and power that propels me forward onto my path of unfoldment. I take one step at a time, moving into the fullness of life, allowing myself to be fully awake and aware of the loving God who continually takes care of me in all ways. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was good and very good. This goodness perpetuates itself in my life on a moment-to-moment basis because I am fully aware of Spirit's presence in my life. I keep the high watch in thought, word, and deed, and my life is marvelous. I am so joyously grateful for this truth that allows me to be aware of the unlimited potential that is mine at this moment. Realizing life is abundantly good, I release my word now into the law of mind, knowing it is already so, and so it is. And that was originally submitted by licensed practitioner emeritus Sheila McDonald from Paradise, California. And so as we do each week, let's also review together our purpose, vision, and mission statements. We have a grand purpose here each week, and that is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. And this is done through our vision, which is creating the life you desire. This is supported by our mission to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. So once again, I'd like to welcome everyone. Please know that no matter what your background, your history, your size, color, age, sexual preferences, beliefs, everything, everyone is welcome and invited here because you are special. We teach the philosophy called the science of mind, and we honor all paths, all traditions, all faiths. So, as I mentioned, we honor diversity in all aspects. so that we can see and appreciate the great oneness that already exists everywhere and within everyone. Dr. Ernest Holmes had studied both Eastern and Western spiritual texts in order to create the science of mind, which focuses on the individual use of thoughts and this powerful thing called the mind. When asked for a precise or concise definition of the science of mind teaching, he had replied that it is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. Each week, we offer a service with an inspirational message, and we are now meeting at our new location on Sundays at noon on Calle Venezuela, number 232. Hang out with us afterwards for some great conversation with like-minded people. Or you can also watch the replay of this Zoom meeting later in the day. If you have any questions or comments, you can either post them online, wherever you are watching, or chat with me in person, or send me a direct email, and I'll be sure to respond. We live in a universe of infinite abundance of every form and wealth, whether it be love, health, financial freedom, creativity, and more. And many are still starving. The infinite flowing reservoir is always available, but we only let it trickle through. Our consciousness is filled with rules and beliefs of lack and limitation and self-loathing and devaluing. And these rules and beliefs cut off the flow of the infinite good down to that mere trickle. Our work is to get our foot off of that hose that restricts it and let the natural abundance of the universe flow into our lives. In The Science of Mind, Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Here and now, we are surrounded by and immersed in an infinite good. How much of this infinite good is ours? All of it. And how much of it can we use? As much of it as we can embody." So here's a little story I'd like to share with you from Thomas Merton. He said, in Louisville, at the corner of 4th and Walnut, in the center of the shopping district, I was suddenly overwhelmed with the realization that I loved all these people, that they were mine and I theirs, and that we could not be alien to one another, even though we were total strangers. It was like waking up from a dream of separateness, of spurious self-isolation in a special world. This sense of liberation from an illusionary difference was such a relief and such a joy to me that I almost laughed out loud. I have the immense joy of being a man, a member of a race in which God himself became incarnate, as if the sorrows and stupidities of the human condition could overwhelm me, now that I realize what we are. And if only someone could realize this, but it cannot be explained. There is no way of telling people that they are all walking around shining like the sun. And Raymond Charles Barker wrote this in The Power of Decision. The grandeur of life is known by the few when it should be known by the many. The majority of people are half healthy, half wealthy, health happy, and half creative. But wouldn't we all like to have it all? We live in a universe with an extravagant expression of life energy, Yet many times we only allow that small trickle into our lives. Our consciousness is the law of our life. What fills our consciousness? Do we have beliefs and rules about what God, Spirit, Source wants from us? And do we believe money is as sacred and spiritual as everything else? Do we believe that we have value and worth and are entitled to live a life well lived? Do we believe that we shouldn't live well just because others aren't? And do we hold back the energy of life just so that we can fit in and keep our heads down and be invisible, quiet, unseen, as some of us may have learned in our childhood? And do we believe that there is some God that will punish us and take away our good if we get too big for our britches? Do we believe that there's an ebb and flow to the infinite, the ever-present supply? And do we believe that we can't prosper because it's, in quotes, the bad times? Do we get rid of money as soon as we come into our hands with it, or put it in our wallet or our bank account? Or do we cling onto it and hoard it out of fear that it may just vanish? What are we telling the universe about how to show up for us? The universe is always saying yes, and this restriction is never in the universal flow. It's always within us. Charles Fillmore said this: the mind is the crucible in which the ideal is transmuted into the real. So basically, what we think about comes about because of the law of the mind. So a Zen monk was told that in order to be enlightened, they had to eliminate all desire from their life. They go off and spend 5 or 10 years working to release all their desires. And when they return to their teacher finally and announce that they have succeeded, the teacher will nod and smile and then ask them, why did you do that? They will come to the realization that they have a desire to be enlightened. So, sadly, they go off to release that desire to be enlightened, only to realize that they are still working in the field of desire. Eventually, they awaken to the realization that desire is the motivating energy of the universe, moving us all forward. And they release their desire to release their desire. Ernest Holmes wrote this in The Creative Mind and Success: we become attracted to something that is greater than our previous experience by first embodying the atmosphere of our desire. So basically, we must already feel as if that which is desired is already ours in order for us to experience and embody it. As we recognize that our consciousness is the creative element in our lives, totally connected with the infinite source of good, we then realize that our experience of prosperity comes from within. Many people talk about the law of attraction, but attraction means that we believe that our good is outside of us, it's out there, and that we need to attract it here inside of us. But this is a commonly erroneous as thinking that the sun goes around the earth. Well, it seems that way from the earth-centered perspective. We all know that it isn't true. The real law is the law of radiation. What we radiate or express outward then becomes our experience of life. If we have dysfunctional beliefs about wealth, that's what radiates out and reflects back to us as if looking in a mirror. If I am not truly living in true prosperity, which Raymond Charles Barker describes in The Power of Decision as the ability to do what you want to do at the instant you want to do it. So if we are not living in true prosperity, then I need to consciously connect with my infinite self. This enacts the divine nature itself, which encounters no restrictions as it creates what it chooses to create when it chooses to create it. We are here to enact the divine nature in human form. And Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote this: "Let us take our bloated nothingness out of the path of the divine circuits. Let us unlearn our wisdom of the world." Our heart's desires are our greatest assets. Our true heart's desires guide us to what wants to be expressed through us. Too often, though, we shut them down and we turn them off and stop listening to that inner voice for two reasons. Firstly, we have no idea how to bring them about. And secondly, we believe desire itself to be bad or wrong, as explained earlier in the Zen story. The universe will not desire through us without also providing the means to accomplish that desire. We may not always see the how, but that's not our business. It's not our job. Our job is to be clear on the what our desire is, and stand in that vision, in faith and desire, as the universe provides the way. Charles Fillmore refers to this energizing polarity as wisdom and love. We have the wisdom of the vision, the wisdom of clear thinking, unfettered by old dysfunctional beliefs, and we have the power of love or desire for the idea that wants to express through us. As we let both expand, our experience of a life of joyful creation also expands. Catherine Ponder wrote this in The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity: I expect lavish abundance every day, in every way, in my life and affairs. So, as we understand that our consciousness is first cause in our life, we recognize that the only work that we need to do is to clear out our consciousness of the congestion and the restriction of the flow of the divine. The abundant brilliance of the infinite one is always shining through, always expressing, and always on. We just need to get out of its way and out of our own way. When we become meek, when we let go of the thinking of it's my way and choose the high way, the true nature of the infinite, abundant universe can and does show up in our lives in ways that might surprise and delight us. Abundance is natural to spirit, and therefore it is natural to us. So let it be. And I'll leave you with this poem by Hafiz. One day the sun admitted, I am just a shadow, the infinite incandescence that has cast my brilliant image. I wish I could show you, when you are lonely or in the darkness, the astonishing light of your own being. And that leads us to our affirmation for the week. I now let the universal abundance flow freely in my life. So now it's our time for mindful giving and financial support of our spiritual home. And we rely on your support to continue our center here in Puerto Vallarta so that we can continue offering this powerful teaching of the science of mind. And we bless the financial gifts that you give today. Every donation is greatly appreciated, no matter the amount, whether it's $5 or $50 or anything in between. So donations can be made now using PayPal or Tithely through our website, www.cslpv.org. And I'll just put that up on the screen for you. So when you arrive on our landing page, you'll now see two buttons. One says Give, which will take you to Tithely, where you can make your donation in whichever manner you choose. Or you can go to the Donate button, which is PayPal, which also allows you to donate in whichever manner you choose. Alternatively, if you still like to write out a paper check, you can do so addressing it to CSLPV, number 403 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, B1Y8N1. And now, if you'd like to join me in our offertory affirmations. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So I would like to offer you a one-on-one session for a spiritual mind treatment to assist you with whatever changes that you would like to experience or are currently experiencing and want something different. Please connect with me and we can set up an appointment. If you would like to commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living in Puerto Vallarta for this upcoming year, or if you would like to be on our board of trustees, please contact me so that you can be sent the current form. And I'd also like to remind you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page. And if you're interested in learning more about the science of mind teaching, we are currently offering classes and workshops. Currently, we are starting a new course in Spanish language every other weekend on Saturdays and Sundays. So if you have a background in the science of mind and would like to take foundations in Spanish here in Puerto Vallarta, please contact me as soon as possible. We are also offering practitioners' first studies, or the first year of studies for practitioners, which is known as Advanced Consciousness Studies. There are prerequisites to enter this course, and it will be offered on Zoom on Saturdays starting October 29th. All of this information can be found on our webpage as well, or you can contact me directly. Let us know if there's another course or a workshop or even a book study that you would be interested in taking, and we can plan to put a date on the calendar for those as well. In the meantime, let's continue practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions can create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it also includes standing up against injustice. May peace and love be with you. Thank you for coming and sharing this time together. Peace and blessings to all. Namaste.